the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm, episode 153. I am Mike Grimm, voice of the Golden Gophers, and welcome back to the podcast. We're coming to you this week from Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Golden Gophers will play Friday night against Virginia Tech in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. We're talking with Golden Gopher tight end Jameson Geers this week from the team hotel here in Charlotte. He brings us up to date on how the bowl prep is going, the excitement level with the team, and what they've been doing this week in Charlotte, and much more. Our Go Gopher podcast is presented by alumni-owned Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're a business founder planning to exit your business, start by contacting Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. Sunbelt serves more businesses up to $5 million in revenue than anyone, and True North M&A serves companies with revenues up to $150 million. Get a confidential, no-cost, no-obligation business valuation started today. Make the most of your life's work. Visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union is also a big sponsor of the Go Gopher podcast. Life math is complicated, and Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union makes it easier with local financial experts available to help in person or virtually. Go to affinityplus.org/Go Gophers for more info. We also want to thank Affinity Plus for sponsoring our player profile segment with today's guest, Jameson Geers. Jameson will receive a gift card for his appearance courtesy of Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. They are the best. Longtime Gopher sports supporter, Cub is a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher podcast with Mike Grimm. In a hurry? Don't worry. Cub delivers. Get fresh meat, produce, everyday essentials, and more delivered to your door. Cub is the official grocer of the Golden Gophers and proud to support Gopher athletics for over 20 years. The Go Gopher podcast is also presented by OnX Maps. Find out how to download the OnX Fish app for free by listening to the Go Gopher podcast. We're podcasting episode 153 from the Aquarius Home Services studio. We invite you to subscribe to the Go Gopher podcast. It's free to subscribe and free to listen at any time. That means you can go back and listen to previous weeks. Last episode, for example, we spoke with Gopher offensive lineman Quinn Carroll about all kinds of cool stuff, including his family connections to Virginia Tech. If you missed it, please go back and have a listen. I promise it is worth it and still timely. This week, we continue Golden Gopher football talk on the Go Gopher podcast with Minnesota tight end Jameson Geers, who will join me next.
Gopher fans, this is your head football coach, PJ Fleck. We are excited to play in the upcoming Duke's Mayo Bowl on January 3rd. And for every jar of Duke's Mayo sold from now until January 3rd, Cub will donate $1 to the Row the Boat Family Fund at M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. So be sure to stop by your local Cub today and pick up some Duke's Mayo and support the Row the Boat Family Fund at M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. Row the boat, Skyuma, and Go Gophers.
I'm Clay Geary, walk-on turned scholarship wide receiver for Gopher football.
And I'm Ben Utek, U of M alumni, Super Bowl champion, and Tony Dungy Uncommon Award winner.
We understand championship culture, which is why we're part of the True North family of companies.
True North invests in only elite teams, like the champion team at Sunbelt Business Advisors, Minnesota's largest seller of companies. To learn more about True North and our diverse family of independently owned companies, visit TrueNorthEquityPartners.com.
It's episode 153. We are coming to you from Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Golden Gophers are getting set to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies in the Duke's Mayo Bowl at Bank of America Stadium, where the Carolina Panthers play. And we're at the Hilton Hotel. That's a team headquarters. As we are recording this, it's Wednesday night. Jameson Geers, Gopher tight end. He had a wonderful season for Minnesota. Has been kind enough during this busy week to join us here for a few minutes. And then you're getting off with some buddies to go out and have a nice meal when we're done here, right?
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
How has this week been so far?
It's been amazing. We got here, just kind of settled in. We went and had like a little tailgate kickoff event that we went. Played. They had bowling and a bunch of different food. It was really cool. And then yesterday morning, we were able to go to the Speedway, the Charlotte Speedway, and I got the chance to hop in a NASCAR and go around the track a couple times, which was something. Obviously, it's something a little kid would definitely dream about growing up. So
Yeah. And then you guys have just gotten back, as we talk here on this Wednesday night, from part of the bowl benefits, I guess, where everyone talks about the swag bag and all this stuff that guys get. Belk is a sponsor, and it's a department store is what I'm told, and you guys all got gift cards, so you got to do a little Christmas shopping for yourself.
Yeah, I did. It was a lot of stuff. I've never been to a Belk before.
Yeah.
So I think it was a good experience. It's kind of like a Macy's.
Yeah.
And yeah, I maxed it out. So
you maxed it out. Well, and you don't have to give a lot of secrets away. Maybe you don't want to say anything. What did you get? Are you happy about? Are you excited about what you got?
Yeah. I got some shorts. Maybe I can golf in next year, in the summer. I got like 2 polos, and then I got a sweater.
Wow.
So yeah.
you're all set. Your wardrobe's set now.
Yep.
Between that and the free stuff you guys get from the school and the football program, you don't have to worry.
Yeah, I'll have a packed suitcase.
Yeah, you'll have a packed suitcase going home. You mentioned the NASCAR track, Charlotte International Motor Speedway, which is where they have the world's. It's what was the World 600. It's Coca-Cola 600 now, mile-and-a-half track over Memorial Day. So when you say you got in a car, this was a ride along, right? So you got to crawl through the passenger window, and then they had professional drivers take you guys around. And this wasn't like just a tiny little, hey, we're going to go 55 around this track. How fast was it, and what was it like for you?
Man, he had to been going like 150. He was pushing it, and it was so loud, like I couldn't. Anything I said to him, he was just like, "Give me a thumbs up." Like he didn't really hear what I was saying, but yeah, it was sweet. I never really knew how steep the turns were, just like looking at it, but I felt it out there, like my right side during all those left turns. I was like getting like pushed down.
That centrifugal force up there, right? Yeah, the banking at the banking at Daytona is much even steeper because they're going around at 220 miles an hour. But here at Charlotte, it's also a steep bank. I remember watching a race sometime, and they were trying to get people to see if they could roll a basketball from the bottom of the track all the way up to the wall, and nobody could because that's how steep that bank is on the cement. So. How was it? You're a pretty good sized guy. What, 6'5", 260-ish, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
How was it crawling through that window?
It was challenging. I had a big helmet on too. I was like hitting it on different things, like getting into the car. But yeah, I definitely had to like contort my body a little bit. But it was obviously a little bit easier than some of the old linemen. Just watching them, it was kind of funny, just like seeing if they were going to fit or not. But
yeah, they all made it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
They all made it. And I saw a little video of PJ Fleck. He said it was pretty exciting for him to jump in there and ride around as well. And then I also saw a video, your quarterback, Max Brosmer, was riding around in this thing, and the guy's coming up through the gears, and he gets it to, no pun intended with the gears, but he gets it to top speed, and then as they're slowing down, the engine blows up.
Yep.
So that was probably a little scary for him. There's smoke bellowing out of the cockpit portion of the car, and then out of the motor part of the car. But he's good. He's good to go. He won't miss the bowl game, I hope.
No. He said it was a little bit of a scare, but that's what happens when you get in one of those cars. Like there's always that chance. But yeah, I mean, he said he had a good time.
Yeah, for those that haven't ever been to a NASCAR event, and I've been to many. I like to watch cars go fast, I guess. There is sensory overload to it. There's the speed, then there's the noise, as you mentioned. It's loud. There's nothing that to me that can get the adrenaline going like the sound of a stock car engine, right? And then coming up through the gears, and then there's the smell. And in Max's case, he got the bonus because the engine blew up, so you really got the smell of burning rubber and burning oil and engine malfunction and all that stuff. So there is a lot going on in the sensory department when you're at a NASCAR track.
Oh yeah, I told him if he's not first, he's last. So I mean that's what he was kind of shaken up about it. So I just telling him that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Was there a list of speeds just to know which driver went fastest for any of you guys?
No, we didn't see that. When we were going, I was trying to peek over at the speedometer, but we were going like so fast, and I was getting pulled so far to the right and like down that I couldn't really see. And I was kind of locked in too, like
sure.
They had like the
Hans device or whatever, so that if you would happen to get out of control and you hit, that it holds your neck from springing forward, which can cause some serious injury as well. I don't know if those cars have speedometers. Most of those drivers go off now RPMs and just what they go. So you'd have to check, what the RPM was and then translate it like it's a foreign language. But anyway, that was when I heard that you guys were going to be able to do that and then do the shopping spree. I'm like, this is going to be a fun bowl game for you guys.
Yeah.
How about practice? Let's talk some football here. And I know, there's some unknowns. So share what you can or share what you think is safe, because we don't want to get in trouble with anybody in terms of, because there is some competitive, nature going on here, because you don't know much about who might be playing defensively for them. Mm-hmm. There probably are some changes with the Gopher lineup. So anyway, I use that as a preface. But how has the practice been going? And how do you think things are feeling here as you get gearing up for game night?
Yeah, I think this is going to be my 4th bowl game here. So we do bowl season really, really well, efficient. After Wisconsin, after the regular season, we were able to, get our bodies back to full health and get myself feeling really good after, the 12 games. And then we picked it up for, a couple weeks, having the bowl game like a little bit later in the bowl game schedule allowed for us to go home. So I was able to go home for Christmas and see my family for the first time in a couple years during that time. So that was really, really awesome. But practices have been really good. Leading up to the bowl site, we've had a bunch of practice and just building on stuff and getting prepared. Because obviously our job is to come here and win a football game. So that's what our priority is, and it reflects that even at the bowl site. We had a good practice yesterday and a good practice today. So
I was wondering, PJ's 5-0 at Minnesota in bowl games, and overall, I think the Gophers have won 7 straight. So this is a nice little string that you guys can hang your hat on. You'd love to extend it to 8 in a row and have PJ be 6-0. What do you think the key? What about? And you talked a little about the preparation. I suppose there's some luck to it. There's some, we played well, and some days you show up hoping to play well and you don't, but you guys have. Mm-hmm. Right? So what do you think? Is there a key to what you're seeing and how this coaching staff gets you guys ready for a bowl game that has you tip-top, it seems, in each of the last several?
Yeah. Well, during the season, you get so focused on scheme and stuff like that. You don't really go back to day one fundamentals and really development, and which is what Minnesota does really well, is during bowl season, they develop players from the floor to the ceiling, the best player, and they obviously fit your needs. If you're banged up or something, obviously they do a good job of getting you back to where you want to be. But they do a great job of developing players during the bowl season, during the bowl practices. We work really hard throughout the whole couple weeks that we've been preparing for this game, and I think that helps us, build on and not get complacent with where we're at as a bowl game. And obviously it's been a couple weeks, so we do a good job of going through day one stuff and really working on that.
Yeah, it seems to me that in each of the bowl games that you've played in and even before, all with PJ, that he's been able to get the message across that this is a meaningful game. It's not something to be disappointed about. I remember his first bowl game, 2018, that was before your time, Georgia Tech in Minnesota, and it couldn't have been clearer which team wanted to be there and which team wasn't all that interested in that game. Minnesota rolled Georgia Tech, and no knock on Georgia Tech. They weren't that excited about coming from Atlanta and going to Detroit, and PJ has a way about him to get guys excited to do stuff. I wonder if that's part of it too, that you guys are excited. I can tell you've got an itch. You're ready to get out there on Friday night.
Yeah, and I think we do a good job of understanding that it's a privilege to be here. All the gifts that we get is obviously something that we earn throughout the season. And for me, it just gives me another opportunity to play with the seniors, guys like Max and Nick, and Quinn and Coop and all the guys that I've been in the grit and the grime with.
Yeah.
And just wanted to have those guys win their last game as champions and propel them into whatever next stage of life that they're going to do. That's honestly what I obviously care about the most. And I think that as a program that we emphasize that, and we don't take anything for granted. And obviously we have a lot of guys that want to be here. And I think that we are all really excited that the game's coming up here soon.
What can you tell us of maybe what you're expecting from Virginia Tech? I know they have some guys that have hit the portal. They have a new guy, defensive play caller, because they made some changes with their coaching staff. Mm-hmm. But how is that part of the prep been in terms of trying to determine maybe some of their tendencies, not knowing for sure, and then probably falling, as you mentioned earlier, about the importance of in this 3-week stretch of just working on fundamentals and relying on those pillars that you guys always do, no matter who you're playing?
Yeah, obviously, they're a really gifted team. I don't think that their record really reflects on how their season went. I feel like they had a lot of one-possession games that could have gone their way. So if I kind of look at them as maybe a 9-team win. If you look at some of the games later in the season, I think they're well coached. Obviously, they don't have their DC anymore, but I think obviously they're going to be a really tough team to play. But I have full confidence in our team and what we can do. Personnel wise, I think that it'll be definitely it'll be closer to a Big Ten game. It'll be kind of like a tough game. And,
yeah.
We're gonna see offensively how we can stack of what and build off what we've done and make it our best game yet, because obviously that's our job, is to execute as an offense. So
Jameson Geers with us. Stand by for a minute. I want to talk about a sponsor, then I've got a few more questions for you here on the Go Gopher podcast. We want to mention Affinity Plus. They're your local credit union, proudly serving Minnesota since 1930. If you're a current Gopher student or a proud Gopher alum, you're eligible to join this financial, and you can build a meaningful banking relationship because they will put you first. You can meet with a local employee at any of their branches statewide, including right off campus on University Avenue in Minneapolis. To learn more and find other ways to connect, visit affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. That's affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. People-centered banking, perfect for Gophers, and we want to thank them. They have supplied our gift card for Jameson Geers here to help as they support student athletes for his appearance on the show. Your season was pretty good. 25 catches, 251 yards. You tied for the team lead in touchdowns with 4. Take me through what your assessment. Give me a self-assessment now that you've put the 12 games behind you and you're ready for the bowl game, of how your year went for you personally.
Yeah, I definitely think that I was pretty ecstatic on how I was being used. Obviously, I love being on the field and balancing being in the run game and also going out there and making plays in the pass game is super important, and being a versatile tight end. And so I think that this year was a foundation that I can really build on next year to have my best season yet. And I thought I was given the opportunity to be a valuable option in the offense. So I'm proud of all the guys and everyone that's allowed me to be successful in the things I needed to do this year, and just being able to keep on improving, and so that obviously next year that it'll pay off for me.
Yeah, and you took this step forward when you got your chance, right? You had Brevin, and you had some others before. Keeft was, I think you guys crossed over for a minute or two, right? And Nick is getting some time depending on what the play call might be. So you finally got your opportunity. I think back to bowl season, you mentioned that the way Minnesota runs the bowl season, a year ago you scored your first touchdown in Detroit, right? And on a play that I don't know if it was exactly the same play. It looked like it to me that you scored at Illinois too, right? Mm-hmm. Take me through last year, how important this month of December was for you to score that touchdown in Detroit, and then head into the offseason feeling good.
was extremely important. Like throughout that last season, 2023, it kind of picked up. My role came from like being like a 3 guy, not really playing that much on offense, to, you know, someone who is valuable in the game plan and stuff like that. And just learning from Brev and Co in 2021, like learning how they prepare for the game, and just being confident out there on the field, and, you know, preparing throughout the game plan up to the event. I think it was really important to kind of like, okay, I've been wanting to be the guy, and now it's my chance, and what am I going to do with it? I think it was a really, really important month leading up to that game, and just being able to go out there and, you know, show my family the hard work that, you know, I've been doing, and, you know, my love for the game, and then obviously just like celebrating with my teammates, being out there and, you know, being around the guys when, you know, we're going through it, and it was a lot of fun. And then just building on it throughout the off season, and then carrying up into this past season, kind of just like excelling, hit the ground running. So,
how important was Max Brosmer as part of that too, and just having a senior that knew where the ball should go, right? I mean, I don't know, I think you can count on one hand the number of poor decisions he made in terms of where to throw it. I mean, he had 5 interceptions, and I think 4 weren't his fault, maybe, right? Yeah. So how much did he help, just having a guy that knew, if you're open, I'm going to throw it to you. If you're not, I check down or make my progression to the next guy.
Yeah, he's been nothing short of amazing. I can't believe that he's only been with us for 12 months. It feels like he's been here forever. I think we've built an extremely strong relationship together. You know, throughout the off season, we would meet up on breaks and stuff, and just build the connection. And he changed the offense here for the better, and just making Minnesota like one of the best places to be for a tight end, for a receiver, for any offensive personnel. He's a great teammate and a great leader, and, you know, I've learned a lot from him on and off the field. And he'll be a lifelong buddy of mine. So I'm really happy that he came here, and, you know, I'm super, super excited to have this last opportunity to play with him, and, you know.
Yeah, one more chance to get him one more win, and along with all those other seniors that you mentioned playing for the final time. Let's just, for the fun of it, look ahead. I know there's going to be competition at that quarterback spot, but you have watched now in person Drake Lindsey. There's transfers coming in. But what can you tell Gopher fans a little bit about what you've seen from Drake as a true freshman? Think about that, a true freshman attached at the hip to Max Brosmer. What do you see from Drake Lindsey?
I love Drake. He's one of my best friends. We have a really good relationship. I think that he is going to be an absolute dude. He has so much potential, and just learning from Max, who's a great leader, shows Drake like how to work, how to be a quarterback, and obviously with Harbaugh too, like they mesh as a room really well. They love the tight ends. And obviously, like, it's going to be a big. I'm going to be a big part of the offense next year as well. So, Drake is going to be just okay. Yeah. He's going to be. It's going to be exciting for him to you know, start the season next year, and, you know, just keep improving throughout this time, throughout the off season, and just see all the things that he learned, and, you know, apply it to him being his own guy. Like, you know, he doesn't have to be anyone else. He could just be himself, and, you know, it'll work out great for him. I know that. Yeah,
it's going to be fun. Certainly, watching Drake develop spring ball will be big for him. Want to talk about another one of our sponsors. You know, ice fishing is here as it's getting chilly back home in Minnesota, and it's time to hit that frozen water with OnX Fish. It's the fish app, and it's the most comprehensive fishing tool for increasing your confidence on ice. Use OnX Fish to find new places to fish. Sort lakes by species, abundance, trophy, and keeper potentials. OnX Fish also shows you hot spots, lake-by-lake regulations, private and public land ownership info, and more. And for a limited time, download OnX Fish for free in Minnesota and Wisconsin, or go to onxmaps.com/fish to get more information on the app that is changing the game on ice. Wisconsin, you score a touchdown that pretty much seals the game, and you win the Axe. What was that day like for you?
It was amazing. I had a couple of my family members there. It was great to get the Axe back in Minneapolis. My freshman and sophomore year, 21 and 22, we went back to back. So it was a great feeling to have the Axe back with us. And I just I was just really happy for my seniors, the guys that, Nick being a Minnesota guy. I feel like he's put so much into it, and obviously you'll see him running around with his mohawk he had for the game. It was just special to me, honestly, watching the guys, take the Axe up and down the field, going to the goalpost, and doing it in a fashion of probably the greatest rivalry in college football, one of them. So it was great. I think it kind of embodied what our season was like, just finishing strong, playing a complete game, 60-minute football, and obviously making a couple plays that help us out. And I think that's important, because the best players got to play their best.
Walk me through the touchdown. What was the call, and how did it develop? Because it was a tough catch.
Yeah, I think that was one of the plays that Max kind of knew where he was going with the ball, and it was going to go there if I was open or not. And so it's an imperfect game. Things that you prepare for that doesn't really happen when bullets are flying. So I just kind of leaked out and kind of ran up the sideline. Max just keeps on giving me good balls that are contested catches that the defenders can't really get to. So, I think it's just being able to go out and execute no matter, what they do as a defense.
The other thing I wanted to ask about that is people probably don't get a chance to see where you guys practice in the facility. When you guys walk into that kind of Hall of Fame area, and then you take a left to go up to the elevator to go up to get treatment or whatever, team meetings, all that, the trophy case is right there. Mm-hmm. How much better is it when you walk through those doors and you see that Axe in that trophy case?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I see it every day. I walk past it every day. So it's just a constant reminder of, why you come to Minnesota. It's for those rivalry games, and it's to play in one of the best conferences in college football, and to continue to, win those games is big for the program. It's great for the state of Minnesota. So we obviously don't take any of that lightly, which is why we obviously have a lot of importance on those types of games. So.
This coaching staff has a lot of connections in your home state of Illinois. They came into Providence Catholic. They got Mariano Sori-Marin, and then you kind of followed in his footsteps. I don't know how familiar you were with him when you were getting recruited, but take me through quickly your recruiting process. This group would watch you at this legendary high school, and you had options. You had a lot of offers. Why Minnesota?
I just love the culture. At the time, I was obviously in high school. I was working on developing as, a football player and as a man. And I think Coach Fleck, through the recruiting process, he never told any lies. And I feel like he was just really, really genuine. He was straightforward. He kind of gave me a relationship that, I felt like that I will be developed as, the best person on and off the field. He gives me the opportunity to be myself, and gives me confidence on what I can do. He emphasizes being a great person and being a great student as well. So I definitely have a I have a lot of gratitude for him and what he's done in my life. And I've known him for like 5 years, so I mean we've had a really good relationship. And anything that I need, he helps me out with it. He helps me out with it, and I really cherish our time together.
Well, it's been fun watching. Go get a couple touchdowns on Friday night against the Hokies, huh?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for coming on. I know Gopher fans will appreciate listening and getting to know you a little bit better as well.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
There he is, Jameson Geers, episode 153.
My thanks to Gopher football tight end Jameson Geers for joining me during a busy time here at the Team Hotel in Charlotte. I hope you enjoyed listening to our conversation as much as I enjoyed being a part of it. Episode 153 is presented by Sunbelt Business Advisors and True North Mergers and Acquisitions. If you're buying or selling a business, visit sunbeltminnesota.com or tnma.com today. We're also partnered with Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union, a locally member-owned full-service financial invested in you. You can learn more at affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. affinityplus.org/Go Gophers. Affinity Plus. We thank them for sponsoring our player profile. Cub is a proud supporter of Gopher Athletics for over 20 years and a proud sponsor of the Go Gopher Podcast with Mike Grimm. Cub, bigger savings on the items you love. OnX Maps also sponsors the show. Again, I'd invite you to listen to past podcasts, and please be sure to subscribe to the Go Gopher Podcast right now. It's free to listen and free to subscribe. And please share the link to the podcast with others so they can subscribe and listen as well. And if you enjoyed the podcast, please let us know with some positive feedback on your social media channels. We'll talk again next week.
Gopher fans, this is your head football coach, PJ Fleck. We are excited to play in the upcoming Duke's Mayo Bowl on January 3rd. And for every jar of Duke's Mayo sold from now until January 3rd, Cub will donate $1 to the Row the Boat Family Fund at M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. So be sure to stop by your local Cub today and pick up some Duke's Mayo and support the Row the Boat Family Fund at M Health Fairview Masonic Children's Hospital. Row the boat, Skyuma, and Go Gophers.